In these studies, they have seen that those who did show those structural changes characteristic of a CTE diagnosis, that it was not at all related to concussions or to hits to the head. Instead, the leading factor that they found to be associated with those who did have these structural changes was the length of their career. And said length of the career means a longer duration of chronic stress exposure. Because if you can imagine these occupations, these are high stress occupations. And the more that you are exposed to stress and to the trauma of those stressors chronically, that is building up over time. That is accumulating over time in occupation where your ability to earn a paycheck depends entirely on you being in such an acute high stress state that you need to be aggressive or be the aggressor. You need to fight and be willing to fight. You need to keep your head on a swivel at all times because your safety or your life depends on it. Imagine that degree of high state of stress just for your occupation in order to earn your paycheck and to be able to support your family, hopefully for the long haul. This type of stress is what is the chronic driver for these changes in the brain. It's the fact that it's not only a stress exposure, but the fact that it's happening chronically. When this happens chronically, you have different changes in not only aggression with behaviors and psychological stressors that you're being experienced, but in those acute stress states, you have a physiological change that's happening on a repeated chronic basis. On top of that, you have the changes in lifestyle in order to accommodate this type of an occupation long-term. So that's long-term sleep deprivation, long-term coping mechanisms, and different modalities and manipulations in order to try to overcome that sleep deprivation, in order to try to recover as fast as possible, to try to mitigate pain and pain management as fast as possible. And so you have these additional factors of coping mechanisms